first off, this is not an actual leak. I'm kind of upset that they keep calling these leaks, and I know it's Drake doing it, but that's only one part of the problem here.
Serena, but I'm cool with Venus. I be hanging around these niggas like I'm Dua Lipa.
What's up with y'all? What's up with y'all? Welcome back to Moxy Approved. If you haven't heard yet, another leak from the so-called Iceman album that's coming has been leaked out on Twitter. This one is rather interesting. I'm lying. It's not interesting at all. It's the same BS that we've been hearing from these other leaks. Like, all right, I'm really not supposed to play this, right? So if you don't see this in the future during this video, that means I had to take this clip out, but get ready. Here's another leak from the Drake Iceman album.
Serena, but I'm cool with Venus. I be hanging around these niggas like I'm Dua Lipa. I might hit a fucking schoolboy and do a remix. Cause you put your niggas on, but they making peanuts. We don't ever piece it up, the shit we got between us.
Same old BS. Basically, as much as I've heard that Kendrick Lamar's success recently is all based on this beef, it seems that a lot of these leaks somehow, some way are also based on this beef. I mean, we heard one of the last ones that came out was what, him and LeBron, because LeBron was dancing to Not Like Us. I mean, all real type corny shit. But this is just another one of those excuses that Drake stans always have, as far as everything Kendrick does is based on a Drake beef. I mean, Kendrick has had a few features out since that battle has commenced, and he's mentioned this battle little to none. I mean, the last one he had on Baby Keem, that was about Young Thug, right? So he's moved on, but y'all know what y'all say, man. The person that loses the fight always wants to fight again, and usually the person that won the fight don't want to fight no more, right? The part that is rather interesting is now he brings SchoolBoy Q.
Hit a fucking schoolboy and do a remix. Cause you put your niggas on, but they making peanuts.
That was a little shot right there, another little jab. I'm pretty sure if this album ever is released, you're gonna hear a lot of jabs like this. He's not really going after SchoolBoy Q. This is that whole Kendrick stimulus package BS that DJ Academics talks about. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm not a big SchoolBoy Q fan. There was one album that I listened to years ago of his. I only say that because has he had, let me know in the comment section, has he had any interview lately of him talking about making peanuts from rap? I know he spoke about golfing, and golfing has been making him more money than rap. So maybe Drake is talking about that, or more importantly, maybe SchoolBoy Q has some lyrics where he basically says that the rap game is serving him peanuts. So let me know. I'm not a big SchoolBoy Q fan to know this. I'm not about to come on here and lie. So other than that, it's really just a shot at Kendrick, saying Kendrick doesn't help people enough, and the people that he does help really ain't making no money. That's interesting because Drake hasn't really helped too many people himself. I know the first thing people are gonna say is The Weeknd. The Weeknd had a little buzz before Drake picked him up, and he only did one album with Drake and moved on and became a star on his own. I think Weeknd would have done that without Drake. He just has an international appeal. That's just my personal opinion. Other than that, I don't know anybody who Drake has put on. Maybe top 5. I don't. I know he does have OVO sound. None of these artists have made it big. I know that one woman that got a divorce because Drake signed her, we still haven't heard from her. So it's like, when you say these kind of comments and you say this kind of stuff, you need to have a list, not just one person. You need a list of people that you put on that have done some things. I mean, Kendrick got a Mexican a Grammy. I'm just gonna just say it like that. I wasn't a big fan of that move, but hey, Lefty got a Grammy, right? Who has Drake done that for? He seems like the type of person where I remember McConan, we all know McConan flipping burgers right now, right?
I'm literally at work type shit. They got all these people out here, they hungry and shit, you know? I mean, they're working, getting this money, you know what I'm saying?
So for one of your artists that you actually had signed at some point to be out there now flipping burgers, I don't really think that you can talk like that, but
if you need me to come guest chef at your motherfucking spot, holla at me. Let me know what city I'm coming through, cooking up. We got the smash burgers going off tonight, you know. I'm tired already though, but You know, I love cooking for the people. So if y'all need me to pull up, let me know where. Tag your establishment. You need a guest cook come through.
This is Drake. You don't have to go off of reality. You can go off of what you want it to be, which is a mistake, right? To me, this is all a part of a disastrous album rollout. We still don't know if the album is going to ever come out. All right, I'm joking. We know the album eventually is going to come out, right? But right now, it just seems like this is a weak album rollout. I can recognize an album rollout when I see one, folks. I think that this album is going to actually come out before the summer. Like this that we've seen this past week that I should have spoke on, but Michael Eric Dyson. Like, these are all part of album rollouts. You can't tell me that this dude didn't say this knowing that this would be viral.
Most people would acknowledge Kendrick as genius, but not Drake, right? Drake is commercially viable. He's a monster. He sells records. But is he as deep as
Well,
he is
there's a
deep?
genius to that, though.
Oh, come on, bro. You understand that. Drake is being indicted by Kendrick Lamar, implicitly and explicitly, not like us. The song is the song, whatever you think about it. But the notion itself, big distinction, us versus them. And they're trying to de-black Drake, right? Oh, he's not really black because he grew up in Canada, I grew up in Compton. Bro, you're reducing blackness to Compton? Did you not know that black people fled America going to Canada to escape the iron tyranny of enslavement? So to me, yeah, that still exists. You're not as black as me. You're not as righteous as me. What did he say? You're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. What other figure in black music has ever been called a colonizer?
Now, I'm going to be 100% totally real with everyone. It wasn't really about colorism. It was about how a person fits in the culture that they saying that they're a part of. And once you take that, yeah, some people are going to mention colorism in there, but that's not totally what Kendrick did. What he pretty much said, this whole stuff that you claim to be a part of, talking about pulling up on people shooting guns and stuff like that, rolling with killers and all that. You claim that, the whole drill music thing he did with Extortion, you claim to be a part of that culture, but we all know you're not, right? In the midst of that, colorism is being involved in that, but that's not what it's based on, and that makes it disingenuous from Michael Eric Dyson. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. Some of y'all are afraid of these titles. Y'all afraid of anytime a lawyer says something, y'all afraid to challenge it. And anytime someone calls himself a scholar, y'all are afraid to challenge what they're saying. Not in this situation. I've seen a lot of people react against it, but I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not afraid to tell this person he's totally wrong. Then he threw Jay-Z under the bus.
Some people think, well, it ain't that serious and that's not what's going on. My job as a scholar is to show you that stuff you didn't think was that serious might be a bit more serious than you think. I could be wrong, to be sure. So I don't say it with the kind of arrogance that some of my interlocutors on the internet have suggested. And let me tell you something. A very dear and good friend of mine disagrees with me bitterly. Well, I won't say bitterly, just aggressively and vigorously. His name is Sean Carter, better known as Jay.
Then he had to come back and, you could tell this is part of an album rollout.
So I want to apologize to him here. Why am I doing it here and not to him directly? Because the old black people said, where you did it is where you get it. Where you messed up is where you fess up. And that's what I'm doing. What was his main disagreement? Look, first of all, it wasn't a call. It was a text. That's what we do.
If I was Jay-Z, I wouldn't talk to this man anymore. That's just me. I don't like when people take personal conversations and put them in public and you speaking to somebody off the record. It just gives these Drake stans more stuff to roll on as far as Jay-Z being behind this, folks. Look, this whole conversation we're having on right now in this video, it's all centered on one fact, which is Drake did not win the battle based on his pen and his presentation. I still think Family Matters was a dope song. I'm still mad we still talking about this 2 years later. But Family Matters was a dope song. He lost on his execution. Kendrick had a better execution than Drake. That's it. Yo, I'll even go to the point to tell y'all this. Kendrick probably wouldn't have had this Super Bowl. Some Kendrick fans don't want to tell you this, but I'll say he probably wouldn't have had that Super Bowl if he did not destroy Drake in that beef. Would he eventually got a Super Bowl? He already was in one. He probably would have got a Super Bowl at some point. But I feel like Jay-Z was kind of forced to do it last year because it was too much momentum that was hinging upon the beef. That's just how it is. There's nothing wrong with that. That is a win. You destroyed somebody so bad that you made it to the Super Bowl. And people will try to turn that into something negative. The point I'm making out of all of this is Drake can't get over the battle either, right?
Hit a fucking schoolboy and do a remix. Cause you put your niggas on, but they making peanuts.
Y'all talk about how Kendrick's doing everything on the battle, and he can't move on, and he got the Super Bowl because of the battle. Drake, it's obvious with Drake that this battle has too many real estate acres in Drake's mind, right? He don't know how to let it go. To be honest with you, if he'd have just put out that Iceman album, no matter what, that album is gonna get harshly criticized. It just is what it is because it's his first solo album after a beef. He can try everything he do. Put out a joint album, see how people feel, put out all these leaks. You're still not going to escape the fact that your next album is going to be harshly criticized for people that don't rock with you. And a lot of people in the culture now don't rock with you. So that just is what it is. The sooner you put it out, the sooner you get it over with. If you'd already did it, right, you could have been on your second album after the beef. So I think that these things with the leaks, I think they are just weak attempts of Drake checking everybody's temperature. And I don't think it's going to be a good showing for him if a lot of his songs he's taking sneak disses. Look, man, you did a whole court case complaining about this, blaming us all on bots. Man, you tried to sue people for this over a rap battle, right? So it needs to be harshly criticized because that's just a thing in the culture you don't do. Don't nobody want to hear no sneak disses. I don't want to hear nothing about no Kendrick. I highly doubt Kendrick is going, if he's smart, and I believe he is smart, but I highly doubt that he's going to say anything about this battle again because he won. There's nothing else left to conquer. Drake can only do one thing to make himself look better, and that's just move on. Can't do nothing about his past hits. He still runs Spotify, being honest. He still gets a lot of streams. A lot of that is from his past hits, right? Now, the new songs that Drake put out and the new stuff that's coming, you can't do nothing about that. You can't change the past. All you can do is adjust to a new reality. And he's failing to do that. But this is my opinion on it, man. Let me know how you feel in the comment section. Oh, do me another favor. I just put out a couple days ago how 50 Cent has turned into Drake. I think it's an interesting piece, one of my cap stories, and I think I will be doing another cap story on Drake as well. Well, anyways, you know how we like to end our videos over here at Moxy Approved, right? With that water. I'll see y'all here next time on Moxy Approved, man. This is a big situation of someone that doesn't know how to take an L. One of the biggest L's we've seen, but it's still an L.